Welcome to World Alert Updates. Subscribe and press the bell icon for more updates. The date is October 13, 2025, a day that has been marked on calendars worldwide as the world braces for what might unfold. The world watches with bated breath as the tension in the air is almost palpable. Newsrooms are buzzing with activity, each face reflecting the gravity of the situation. News tickers flash across screens in New York, London, and Tokyo, each headline more urgent than the last, capturing the world's attention. Tensions flare in South China Sea as rival drills commence. The region, already a hotspot of geopolitical friction, now finds itself at the center of a potential storm. In Manila, a local news anchor speaks with a grave tone, her voice steady, yet filled with concern, as she delivers the latest updates. She points to a map showing two distinct sets of naval exercises, each representing a different power's interest and influence in the region. They're happening at the same time, in the same volatile region, where the slightest misstep could escalate into something far more serious. One involves China and Malaysia, two nations with a complex history, now navigating the waters of diplomacy and military cooperation. The other involves Japan and the Philippines, allies bound by shared interests and mutual concerns over regional security. The proximity of these military maneuvers sends a ripple of unease across the international community as diplomats scramble to maintain peace. On one side, a powerful Chinese destroyer cuts through the waves alongside a Malaysian frigate, a show of strength and unity. Their joint exercise is named Peace and Friendship 2025, a title that belies the underlying tensions. Yet, the presence of advanced warships tells a different story, one of preparedness and potential conflict. On the other side, a Japanese helicopter carrier operates alongside a Philippine patrol vessel, their drills a testament to their strategic partnership. Their drills focus on maritime law enforcement and disaster response, crucial skills in a region prone to natural disasters and territorial disputes. But everyone knows the underlying message, a silent acknowledgement of the power dynamics at play. Analysts speak of a new Cold War playing out on the warm waters of the Indo-Pacific, a strategic chess game with high stakes. A single miscalculation could have devastating consequences, a thought that weighs heavily on the minds of those in command. The world holds its breath, hoping these drills remain just that, exercises, and not preludes to conflict. For the people living in the region, this is more than just a headline. It's a reality that affects their daily lives and future. For the fishermen, it's a matter of daily survival, as their livelihoods are intertwined with the sea's tranquility. For Southeast Asian governments, it's a complex diplomatic chess game, where every move is calculated and significant. The story of these drills is the story of our time, a tale of rivalry, alliance, and the uncertain quest for peace. It is a narrative that continues to unfold, shaping the future of the region and the world. These military exercises are not happening in a vacuum, they are unfolding against a backdrop of rising tensions and shifting alliances, where every maneuver is closely watched by the world. They represent a major geopolitical development, signaling not just military readiness, but also the intentions and ambitions of the nations involved. Think of it as two separate plays on the same stage, each with its own cast, script, and objectives, yet both vying for the spotlight in a region that has become the center of global attention. The China-Malaysia drills and the Japan-Philippines drills symbolize a region dividing into two camps, each side rallying its partners and demonstrating unity through coordinated action. On one side, nations align with China's vision for regional security, seeking stability through new partnerships and shared exercises. On the other, nations strengthen ties with the US and its allies, reinforcing a network of cooperation that stretches across the Pacific. The significance of these drills goes far beyond military practice. They are statements of intent, designed to reassure allies and send clear signals to rivals. China is demonstrating its ability to project power and build partnerships, showing that it can operate seamlessly with regional neighbors. By conducting exercises with Malaysia, Beijing sends a message of growing influence, hoping to shape the security architecture of Southeast Asia. Simultaneously, the Japan-Philippines exercises tell a different story, one of resilience, modernization, and a shared commitment to upholding international norms. For the Philippines, this is about modernizing its military, gaining new capabilities, and ensuring it can defend its interests in contested waters. For Japan, these drills ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific, a vision that emphasizes the rule of law, freedom of navigation, and peaceful resolution of disputes. The fact that these drills are happening at the same time is no coincidence. It's a deliberate move, highlighting the parallel strategies and the urgency felt by both sides. It's a direct reflection of escalating competition, where every action is met with a counteraction, and the stakes continue to rise. This crowded maritime space becomes a potential flashpoint where misunderstandings or miscalculations could have far-reaching consequences for the entire region. The two sets of drills are a microcosm of the larger strategic rivalry defining the 21st century, a contest not just for territory, but for influence, values, and the future direction of Asia. To understand why these military drills and maneuvers matter so much in today's world, we must first take a closer look at the South China Sea, an area that has become a focal point for global attention and rising tensions. The South China Sea is not just any body of water, it's one of the most strategically and economically important waterways on the planet, serving as a vital artery for international commerce. Every year, trillions of dollars worth of goods, ranging from electronics to oil, are transported through these waters, making it a lifeline for the global economy. But the significance of the South China Sea goes far beyond trade alone. Beneath its surface, the region is rich in natural resources that many nations covet. Experts estimate that the sea holds vast reserves of oil and natural gas, resources that could fuel economies for decades to come and are hotly contested by neighboring countries. The South China Sea is also home to some of the world's most productive fishing grounds, providing food and livelihoods for millions of people across Southeast Asia. From a military perspective, control over this region means having a strategic advantage. The sea serves as a gateway between the Pacific and Indian Oceans, making it a critical location for naval operations and power projection. For China, maintaining dominance over the South China Sea is seen as essential to its national security, economic interests, and regional influence. This is why Beijing has invested billions in building and militarizing artificial islands, transforming reefs into fortified outposts equipped with runways, radar, and missile systems. Meanwhile, the United States and its allies insist that the South China Sea remains international waters, open to all nations under international law. To reinforce this stance, they regularly conduct freedom of navigation operations, sending warships and aircraft through the area to challenge China's sweeping territorial claims. China, however, views these operations as direct provocations and threats to its sovereignty, leading to frequent standoffs and heightened military alertness. This fundamental disagreement over who controls the South China Sea lies at the very heart of the ongoing conflict, fueling diplomatic tensions and shaping the future of the region. The joint military exercise between China and Malaysia is a case study in complex diplomacy. On the surface, it's a display of growing bilateral ties. The drills focus on non-traditional security threats. However, beneath this veneer of cooperation, there are significant tensions. Malaysia is also a claimant state in the South China Sea. So, why would Malaysia conduct drills with China? It's a delicate balancing act. Malaysia cannot afford to alienate China, its powerful economic partner. For China, the exercises are a diplomatic victory. They serve to undermine the narrative that Beijing is a bully in the region. The drills are a powerful tool for China to shape the regional security architecture in its favor. On the other side of the South China Sea, a different partnership is on display. The joint exercises between Japan and the Philippines are built on shared concerns. They're about building capacity to resist coercion. The Philippines has been on the front lines of the disputes in the South China Sea. Japan has become a key security partner for the Philippines. The joint exercises focus on maritime surveillance and law enforcement. This alliance is strongly supported by the United States. It represents a collective effort to push back against attempts to change the status quo. The drills reinforce international law, including the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. Japan and the Philippines are sending a powerful message that they will not passively accept a new regional order dictated by Beijing. The current tensions are not new. They're the latest chapter in a long history of disputes in the South China Sea. The overlapping territorial claims have been a source of friction. The situation began to escalate significantly in the last 15 years. One notable incident was the 2012 Scarborough Shoal standoff. Another turning point was China's massive land reclamation campaign. These actions have led to numerous close calls and dangerous encounters. Each incident carries the risk of escalation. It's this history of conflict that makes the current rival military drills so concerning. The showdown in the South China Sea carries enormous economic and geopolitical risks. The most immediate risk is to global trade. Any military conflict would be incredibly costly. The economic impact would be severe for the export-oriented economies of East and Southeast Asia. Geopolitically, the risks are profound. The competition is fueling a regional arms race. This creates a dangerous spiral of militarization. The conflict is testing the credibility of international law. China's rejection of the arbitral ruling has set a dangerous precedent. The showdown is a test case for the future of global governance. Military drills are a form of political theater. Each side uses these exercises to send messages to various audiences. The China-Malaysia and Japan-Philippines drills are examples of this war of signals. China's messaging is multifaceted. To its own people, the drills project an image of strength. To its neighbors, the message is one of partnership. To its rivals, the drills signal growing military capability. The Japan-Philippines drills send a different set of signals. For the Philippines, the primary audience is its own citizens. To China, the message is one of defiance. For Japan, the signaling is aimed at a broader international audience. By assisting the Philippines, Japan is positioning itself as a responsible stakeholder. In this complex theater, every ship movement is part of the script. Looking ahead, the future of the South China Sea appears to be one of continued competition. The simultaneous military drills are likely to become a regular feature. The underlying drivers of the conflict are not going away. The region is settling into a new normal of managed friction. Southeast Asian nations are increasingly being forced to choose sides. The balancing act is becoming harder to maintain. The greatest danger is the risk of miscalculation. A collision at sea could escalate into a major international incident. Establishing crisis communication mechanisms is critical. The stability of the South China Sea depends on managing competition responsibly. The rival drills are a stark illustration of the challenges ahead. They're a symbol of a region at a crossroads. The stakes could not be higher.